I wanted to title this video, A Week of Meals for the Busiest Family on the Planet, but that is probably a gross misuse of hyperbole. Plus, I don't think I can fit that on a thumbnail. Essentially, this is a video that I shoot vlog style, just off the cuff, very casual from day to day, showing you what my actual family had for dinner throughout the week. And a lot of these are not the most amazing meals you will ever see. They're just the meals that fit our needs for the season of life we're in, for the household we're living in, for the resources that we have right now. So hopefully it gives you some ideas and some encouragement. It's Monday, and I definitely look at it. I look like Monday today, don't I? I have been at my computer almost all day. We had a fantastic Thanksgiving week. We didn't go anywhere. We stayed home and we played games. We put up Christmas decorations. We slept in. We watched Christmas movies and football and just had like some time at home as a family. It was fantastic. But it was back at it today. Back to life, back to reality. And I had two videos that had to be edited, and one of them actually just went up today. Hopefully you guys like that one. By the time you see this one, the other one will have been up too. But tonight I'm having an everything must go night. I have a handful of leftovers from the refrigerator. We have a little pie and some cranberry salad from our Thanksgiving meal a few days ago. I have some tortillas that I can turn into cheese quesadillas. I have like some random ingredients from an Every Plate box that I got that I'm gonna try to use up. Some flatbreads that I have some pepperonis for. I'm gonna turn those into pizzas. I have a little bit of lettuce in the veggie crisper, and I think I can turn that into like a really simple salad. And just like some random things from around the kitchen that I would love to get rid of. And I know a lot of times people are like, ooh, leftovers. But you know, not every meal has to be the most fantastic, amazing meal we've ever eaten. Sometimes we're just eating to get fed, and we're trying to be good stewards as much as we can of the food that we have. I have so many videos about this, and this isn't necessarily going to be a pantry challenge video where I try not to go to the grocery store. I am planning to make a little grocery trip this week, but I'm just trying to use up some things. It actually helps me think better about what meals I can plan, what I need to pick up at the grocery store, helps us keep the refrigerator clean. You know, it's just a good practice, and everybody will get fed. We'll have some things that have been hanging out in the kitchen, out of the kitchen now, and I'll be ready to restock for the week tomorrow. Hello. We are vlogging in the dark here on this Tuesday from the mom van, which is where I am. Some nights, a lot of nights, I am spending some time in the mom van. I'm spending more time than normal tonight in the mom van because my husband has meetings. He is a pastor and he is actually a consultant right now. He works with a lot of churches on capital campaigns, generosity, staffing, vision casting, just all kinds of different things. And that is going very well, but sometimes it means that he is gone in the evenings meeting with those churches that he's working with. So tonight I took one kid to basketball. I went back home and got another kid and brought her here for her marimba lesson. So I'm waiting on her to get finished with her lesson, and then I will take her home. And then I will go back to the basketball gym to pick another kid up from basketball. So that means that dinner had to be very simple, and I had to make it earlier in the evening. So I had some bacon in the fridge from last week that I purchased for Thanksgiving break week, and we'd ended up not using it. So I popped that into the oven. And I also had an Every Plate box delivered last week, and I didn't care for the meals that came in that particular box, and I didn't have a chance to like edit them before it came. So I ended up just being able to use some of the vegetables, and I put some of the meat in the freezer, or I used it for other things, put some of the starches and the things that were non-perishable away in the pantry. Like I don't have to use those right away. But there were a few things left in that box that I thought might make a really good pasta. So I got some water boiling on the stove, just enough to actually cook the pasta in, because I didn't think that I wanted to drain it. I just wanted to make it like a one pot meal, and added a little bit of broth base. And then I added my pasta to my pan and got that cooking. And once that was almost done, I added a white sauce. It was kind of like a bechamel, I think, that came in my Every Plate box. And so I put that into the pan with the pasta along with some seasonings, let it cook a little longer with that sauce. I also thinned it out with a little bit of milk because I didn't put quite enough water in to cook the pasta that I used. And then I had like some remnants of cheese that I threw in there. I mean, this was really like a throw it all in a pot and hope that it tastes good type of meal. And I think it turned out okay. I mean, we topped it with the bacon that I made up because there wasn't any meat in the pasta, and I just thought maybe that would add a little bit extra and also get one more thing out of my refrigerator. And it was fine. It's definitely not as good as when I make like a white sauce or make an Alfredo from scratch. But again, just using some things that I had on hand, being able to throw together an easy meal quickly, using a couple of shortcut items that came in that box. Maybe you would do this with like a jar Alfredo sauce or something like that. And everybody got fed, and we still have some left over. So anybody who hasn't gotten to have some yet because, you know, they've not come home from a marimba lesson, it'll still be there when they get home, or we can heat it up for lunch tomorrow as well. And that's dinner tonight on Tuesday. It is Wednesday, and yesterday, amidst all of the comings and goings, I did manage to run into the grocery store just to pick up a few things to get through the week. They had some chicken breast marked down that was a fantastic deal, so I'm gonna get that going for dinner tonight. A few months back, I picked up some of this butter chicken simmer sauce from Tasty Bite. I got this in my Thrive Market order. You might see it in a regular grocery store too. And when I picked that up, I was thinking of some kind of crock pot meal. I was wondering if I could just throw this into the crock pot with some meat, so for a really easy throw and go crock pot meal. So we're gonna try it out tonight. My chicken breasts were pretty large. There were 3 of them in the package, and it was like 2.5 pounds of chicken breast. So I went ahead and sliced those in half and put them in my slow cooker. And I had some of this garam masala seasoning, so I added a couple of teaspoons of that on top of the chicken, and then I poured 2 pouches of the simmer sauce over the top. I also decided to add about half a cup of chicken broth. If I was using frozen chicken, I wouldn't add this because it tends to render a lot of water and it has some ice on it. But since I'm using fresh, I added a little bit of liquid to this as well. I want there to be enough sauce to not only coat the chicken, but also to use to coat the rice that I plan to serve with this as well. So that is going on low right now in the crock pot. And when it is done, I will cook up some rice. I have some basmati rice, I think, in the pantry. And then I'll see what other veggies or things I might have to go along with this, and we'll give it a taste and see how it turns out. I really need either a crock pot meal or a super fast meal that I can make very quickly on Wednesdays, because I've been helping my church out this semester. They needed some help with their choirs. They have a kids choir and an adult choir, and that's my background. So I've been helping them out this semester with that, and Wednesdays we have rehearsals. And since it's December, we're getting on to those times when the rehearsals are a little bit longer. We've got a dress rehearsal tonight for kids choir because they sing and worship on Sunday, and then we have a big dress rehearsal next week for a lessons and carols that the adult choir is doing in the worship service. So it's been fun to kind of dive back into that for a little while, since I spent, you know, probably the better part of 20 years of my life directing music in schools and churches. But it does make Wednesday nights pretty busy, and it means that I need a meal like this to throw together fast that I can eat early and the family can eat later when they're at home. It is Friday, and you might be thinking, Mindy, what happened to Thursday? Let me tell you. Last night I had one of the easiest meals in my entire repertoire. It is tomato soup from just 2 ingredients: pasta sauce and heavy cream. Half and half works too, it's just not as rich. And my ratio is 1 jar of sauce to 1 cup of cream. So if I'm making it for my whole family, I know everybody's gonna eat it, I'd probably do 2 jars of sauce and 1 pint of cream. You just heat that up on the stove and it's ready to go. You wanna make sure you stay with it though and stir it, because it will heat up fast and that cream will make it scorch or burn really easily. But so easy and so tasty, especially with a nice buttery grilled cheese sandwich. I mean, is there anything quite like dipping a grilled cheese sandwich into a warm, delicious bowl of tomato soup? I don't think so. I was also in Walmart earlier that day getting black socks, nail polish remover, Christmas tree lights, you know, just like those random things that you end up needing to go out and get in the middle of the week. Does anybody else have to do that? That's what I was there purchasing. And while I was there, I saw this little tray, this snack tray that I had not seen before, like a combination I hadn't seen. It was apples and grapes with a little bit of caramel dip, and then it also had pretzels and some little cheese cubes and sausage bites. And it was marked down to like $6. So I snatched that up and I put that out on the counter for everybody to snack on while I was making up the grilled cheese sandwiches and the soup. And it was just a super easy, tasty meal. So back to today, Friday. My plan is to make crunch wraps, but I don't really make them the way that a lot of people make them, like the way they're made at Taco Bell with the big burrito and then the round tostada shell in the middle, because I would end up having a lot of tostada shells left over. And I know you can break them up and just eat them like chips, but I would end up throwing those out after a couple of months in my pantry. So instead I just decided I'm gonna make it like a normal burrito, like a normal shaped burrito. It'll have all the regular stuff you would have in a crunch wrap, but I just put some crunchy chips inside of it right before I grill it up on all sides. So it has like the same texture and it has the same ingredients. It just has a different shape. I am going to add a little rice to my ground beef though. I'm gonna cook up the ground beef and season it just a little bit. And then I have a package of taco rice that I'm going to cook according to the package directions, but along with the ground beef. So it'll stretch that meat just a little bit more and hopefully I'll be able to get more burritos out of it. Hello, hello, it is Saturday, a beautiful fall Saturday. Brick and I were up bright and early at 6 a.m. to go to a swim meet. And then we hurried back to Tulsa to catch a basketball game, McKenna's first basketball game. And in the meantime, my husband also got our oldest daughter to a music activity this morning. So it's been a day. Hey, look, I know that guy out getting some steps and Marco Poloing his, his co-workers. I bet that's what he's doing anyway. Needless to say, I'm gonna phone it in, quite literally, and have dinner delivered. Normally, we would like call it in and go pick it up. We normally do pizza or Tex-Mex, but I think we're gonna do Asian, like Chinese food or something tonight, because I rarely do that. It sounds so good, and I think we're actually just gonna have it delivered. Everybody's ready to just relax for the last few hours of our Saturday and just hang out at the house. So I think we'll just get some food delivered. Looking forward to it. Gonna be delicious, I'm sure. And I'm not gonna have to cook it. So that's probably gonna make it even more delicious in my book. Just saying, just real life here for this mom at the end of a really great, but a very busy week. And that brings us to Sunday. And actually, you're gonna hear about what's for dinner tonight in my next video. It's an Aldi haul with also a price comparison to a haul I did a few years back, plus some ideas for dinners, what we're having for dinner over the next few days. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss that one, or check out one of these videos and I'll see you there.